Good day, lads. With 1 year down the drain and nearly able to pull itself out of the dregs of hell with a positive anniversary update sending recent reviews to very positive, while all total reviews being mixed, Fatshark can continue the growth if it keeps things going at a steady pace. Maybe one day we'll be able to see reviews to overwhelmingly positive. These are going to be my top 5 choices for Fatshark to implement to see Darktide rise to the heights of greatness. If you have others that you think would be better to see as a change, put them in the comments. Just keep it Karking civil. So let's get into the top 5 things Darktide needs to implement over the course of 2024 to see continued growth and encouragement to play within the community. Number 5. This one is possibly the easiest and laziest thing for Fatshark to accomplish, which is why it is at the number 5 spot. This is so simple, even you will say, yeah, that's pretty easy. They should do it. A new map every quarter of the year. That is 4 maps a year. Pretty simple. With their design plan to have one large map zone and make the pathing through that zone go in varied directions to achieve an end, they are able to decide what way we go through their big pile of chunk. We've 3 desert maps, and I'd like to see 1 to 2 more, and we would love to see more of the carnival. There's got to be more of it than just the 2 ranges. You can give us 2 to 3 more maps of the carnival. I'd love to see those. We all know the maps are big enough for you guys to put more maps out of the maps you already have. Well, I should say terrains you already have. Now that being said, with each map you can also release new additive modes like all poxwalkers or elite only, or give us shorter levels that have multiple monstrosity fights. In fact, shorter levels all in all wouldn't be such a bad idea. The maps don't need to be 15 to 20 minutes long. You can do 5 to 10 minutes and still have them be insanely enjoyable. You just have to take the risk. There are ways you can do it. Give us an entire run where we have to bring, let's say, some fuel rods from one point to the next point, and we have to defend the fuel rod, and it can only be dropped for, let's say, 15 seconds at a time before it detonates, so it can't touch the ground for too long, so you have to play hot potato. That'd be a fun game mode. Take it, please. Just have it be a 5 to 10 minute walk through a giant hallway for us to get down to the other end where we got to put on a new power grid. Something like that. You can have fun with it and create new maps. Number 4. This is one that you have in Vermintide 2 that really needs to come in to Darktide, and that's an actual map selection. Let's all be honest with each other here. Waiting on the hub and seeing no maps you want to play or modifiers along with them is disappointing. I, for one, love doing a daily Enclave on Boros because both the journey and the final area are just so damn fun to play. Being able to choose the maps we want to play rather than manual or a surprise through random selection would be nice. And you can filter through the random match players into these lobbies, so no one has to worry about not getting a team and not having fun or succeeding. Doing this will make a lot of people happy, and will let us play the maps that we need to play to finish off penances. Number 3. Actual new weapons, not just marks. There are so many weapons we can get access to, and many of them have already been data mined to already be in the game files. If you want to release them slowly with each map, hey, you get a twofer with the community and earn back some goodwill. So that way people aren't harping on you too hard. It's not a bad idea. A map with a weapon or two looks fan-freaking-tastic to the community that wants to play with all the toys the Imperium of Man has to offer to its rank and file. And let's be honest, we are basically just rank and file with a pretty little necklace when we do better. Man, that inquisitorial signet does look so Karking good. Number 2. Now, every time I do a cosmetic lore video, I harp on this almost every single time. High quality, free, earnable cosmetics and alternate skin colors and designs in the commissary shop and through penances. Never have I ever felt so damn blue-balled when it comes to earnable gear that looks good. Even Blizzard Entertainment launches kick-ass looking gear that gets the player base excited to do the content. Just look at Asmongold. Every time there's an expansion and he looks at the gear sets, the boy gets excited every time he sees a new set. Sometimes he shits on them, sometimes he likes them. That's how the player base works. We'll like some of the free stuff, we'll hate some of the free stuff. But you have to give us free earnable cosmetics that look Karking good. You left us to hang and dry when you released the Traitor Curse update, only providing a certain amount of players the ability to get this blue water soldier outfit that looks like crap, in my opinion. Again, it's an opinion. Not even the full community got it. And with the Traitor Curse update, you didn't launch any free earnable cosmetics with penances. You didn't even make new penances. You gave us a new dangly doily next to the character portrait, but there's no need for that. It's not that important. We want the characters to look cool, then sure you can start adding banner stuff, portrait stuff, little dingly doilies next to the portraits, sure. But I feel like you've forgotten that you have this commissary character that you changed around not too long ago. You first had her be alive, and she dies, eh? And then you've pretty much forgotten her after she got the big old servitor treatment. You haven't touched the poor girl's stocks since launch. Give her, and us, some love. Give us new stuff to pay with our autos, so it doesn't all just go to weapons all the time. You can do this, Fatshark. It's not a bad idea to do. Free earnable high quality cosmetics for everyone. They just look good. Stop worrying about the cash flow. Focus on the free earnable stuff. You can do this. I've got faith in you. Alright, we're on to the big number 1. Let's get to it. The one thing that the God Emperor himself would be ashamed of you for not improving is the Karking crafting system. This includes Call of Dutifying the weapons. I'm not sorry about this, but the fact that the most popular mod next to the dumbass scoreboard is weapon customization, and you still refuse to do anything or change your position is beyond stupid. You need to not only implement weapon customization, but also make easy and grand changes to your crafting system. I'll even guide you along the way. Subpoint 1. Plasteel should only be used to actually advance the weapon from grey to gold, while still providing the normal perk upgrades. This doesn't mean you do some dumb Karking thing like increase its cost. No. You leave the cost as is. Remove the diamantine requirement and increase your material payouts by 100% on missions. Or, if you don't want to do that for some bizarre reason, have Hadron return plasteel to us at a reasonable amount by tier of weapons. Okay? Do it. Just do it. It won't hurt a non-existent trading community. It won't stop people from buying weapons endlessly in search of a good rolled 380. but it will encourage people to pursue upgrades to fully max out all the weapon perks and blessings. Which brings us to subpoint 2. Diamantine should only be used to swap perks and blessings. Leave the costs as is and increase the total output of diamantine by 25% across all maps. This is a subtle change that will encourage players to either save or experiment with their weapons more aggressively with each new patch, and desire to change new loadouts while still running with their favourites, or even make an abomination weapon as a challenge. Lads, when you do this, don't do 2 kits at a time. Always have one tried and true tool to support the team, okay? Please. Subpoint 3. This is the most important part, Fatshark. The one you really need to turn your listening ears on for. Ready? Unlock the Karking stupid fragging limitations on the damned crafting system. It does nothing for anyone except make us feel like we've wasted our Karking time. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen a post about a player feeling like their time has been wasted, not only playing the game, collecting materials, finding a good weapon to upgrade, then going to upgrade it on an RNG system that then gives them all tier 1 perks or tier 2 perks and no tier 3s that they can settle down with. Because Hadron, who if we don't sweet talk and let her touch our toasters, will frag us harder than a Krieger fragging their commissar for cowardice. I get she doesn't like us. I hear Violet enough. But this system of punishment that we have to try and try and try again is a poor system to trick players into thinking they're having fun, or getting them to not engage with it so you can remove it in a later patch saying it just wasn't working. It truly feels like you're waiting very patiently to have a reason to remove the crafting system that you dug your heels in and tried to convince us we didn't want it. It feels like such a slap in the face that it almost seems like you're the parent waiting to slap their child for complaining you got them Pokemon when they clearly asked you for Pal World, and then call us ungrateful. Just do it. Take your foot off the brakes and watch the players thank you for this one thing. Goodwill will come your way if you get rid of the locks and limitations on weapon customization. People will eventually forget a lot of the stupid comments like, "This isn't Call of Duty," or "Stop pearl clutching." To be honest, that last one is probably going to haunt your reputation for a long time. Longer than Moro's never-ending string of heroics. That being said, number 1 is the most important thing for you to implement, Fatshark. It really is. Players need to have fun when engaging with all your systems. I only engage with cosmetic shop lore reads because it's the only lore you've implemented in an easily accessible way. You don't have a way for us to engage with the journals or the Vox transmissions in-game, which is dumb. Please put them in-game. It would be so nice to be able to watch the update through a station, because I would do that rather than going on YouTube every time. Now that's it for my top 5. There's plenty of questions you might be asking, is why not X, why not Y? And I'll get into it, especially when Y is something I've covered before. X is, there will never be single player in Darktide. Ever. You might ask, and you might get upset, but hear me out. For those of you who keep getting upset that they promised single player and single player's not coming. It's never gonna come. And if I'm wrong, I will make a new video saying I was wrong. But it's never going to come, lads. Hear me out. Fatshark will either provide you with unoptimized bots that don't use their grenades or abilities, leaving you balked, especially when the game is designed to be multiplayer. Or you will get bots so overtuned that no one will play the multiplayer aspect of the game. leaving it to die because players won't be able to keep up with the reaction time or cooldown of the bots. Bots will not have skills, they will not have varied loadouts, they will not know when is the right time to use kit, it will just be used. So if you want to play a single player game, Ultramarine is around the corner. Fatshark will not put in the effort to make the bots worth having around. Even if you wanted it to be single player, you will be left high and dry wondering why the bots aren't using the best kit possible, or don't have the best loadouts, or don't have the best skill system. It's not something Fatshark's gonna put the energy in. It's just not gonna happen. And I'm sorry they lied to you and you bought the game thinking single player was coming. But it's not. I understand you're upset and I commiserate with you. It sucks when a game developer takes away something that they said would be in the game a little while after launch. But it happens more often than you know. The other topic is topic Y. 5th class. No, it's not going to be a rattling. Stop thinking it's going to be a rattling. Stop saying it's going to be a rattling. Stop feeling it in your bones that it's going to be a rattling. Just because they've talked about it so much in the game doesn't make it true. I understand people want it, but Fatshark has said multiple times before they hated dealing with the height mechanics in Vermintide 2, and the maps are not designed to have someone break the height system so badly by making the shortest character possible that the AI can't bend over to hit you in melee. I understand it would be fun to break it and to never get hit in melee, but they're not going to add a rattling. However, if a 5th class does arrive, it will possibly be in the form of a disgraced tech priest that belonged to Hadron, making use of the summoner mechanics from the new Necromancer in Vermintide 2. Just because the squad talked about it a lot doesn't make it true. So that's just something to keep in mind. I understand people want rattling snipers. Sniper gameplay does not fit well in this game. I'm sorry it doesn't. There's a lot of gameplay mechanics that just wouldn't fit. But a summoner coming in the form of a disgraced tech priest or even a hive ganger, I could see happening down the line. Or in our BTs. But again, we're meant to be rejects, okay? Not someone from certain areas around. We have to be rejected characters. I do have a video on why the 5th class will be a disgraced tech priest. You can find that in the description. Alright lads, that's it for today. Those are the top 5 things that I would like to see the game implement for it to continue to grow and succeed. Shout out to the patrons. Thank you so much for supporting the channel on Patreon. You too can support the channel on Patreon by heading down in the description below. There's a link there. Shout out to the channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel here on YouTube. You can also support for free by hitting like, subscribe, the bell notification, and sharing with those who you might think might enjoy the content. Also, comment. Let me know your thoughts. Keep it civil, but let me know your thoughts down below. Alright? I will see you lads in the next video. Stay frosty, stay peppy, and keep your head on a swivel. Oh hey, did you know I also do RimWorld 40k content, where I do entire series, roleplay, voice acting, and animations, as well as full gameplay as well. Something for you to tip your toes in, if you're interested. Otherwise, have yourself a good day, lads. See you in the next one.